40 years ago, a group of people affected by housing issues met up in the Charles Hunt Room at the John Mackintosh Hall. A call-out had previously gone out with the slogan, "Everyone is welcome." The result? A room packed to capacity with standing room only, and the birth of the Action for Housing Pressure Group.
What I remember was a very enthusiastic group of people who came to the meeting to find out what we had to offer. It was something that people wanted to happen. People were quite fed up at the difficulty of obtaining a home for themselves and their family. There were 2,500 applicants on the waiting list. Key money was rife, although it was illegal, and a legislation that did nothing to protect tenants.
40 years ago, the housing situation in Gibraltar was a challenging one.
Remember, the frontier was closed. Private landlords would prefer to rent their flats to MOD people rather than Gibraltarians. Government had not built any flats for a long time. It was not uncommon for 2 or 3 families to live together in a couple of rooms.
The group has had many success stories and has managed to help many across the decades secure a home, something the group says everyone is entitled to.
I think that making people aware that there was a rent tribunal and that there was a chance for people who were paying in excess could take their issues to the rent tribunal and have their rents drastically reduced. I think that was one of our first major successes. And also to bring to the fore and present to government the question of the payment of key money.
Despite the many improvements, the group believes they still have an important role to play in society.
We started what we call the clinics only 2 weeks ago. On the first clinic, we had 1 case coming over, and this past Monday we already had 6. And as long as there are people who are coming forward because they're experiencing housing problems of whatever kind, shortage, lack of space, too much rent, lack of protection, whatever it is, then we continue to be relevant.
Action for Housing says the housing situation has improved a lot, but it believes there's still a segment of the population not being catered for.
A segment of the population who would not be able to get a mortgage because of their age, and who would not be able either to rent in the private sector because of the very high rents.
An exhibition of newspaper cuttings, photos and video, which tells the story of Action for Housing, is now open to the public at the John Mackintosh Hall until Thursday, the 8th of July.